Here's how I take a rough forged blade and turn it into a fully finished full-tang hunting knife. First I grind the profile of the entire knife, then I hollow grind the tang before flattening it on the flat platen of the grinder. For this blade I chose to taper the tang so that it gets thinner toward the butt of the handle, which makes it lighter and more well balanced. After grinding the tang and the flat sides of the blade, then it's time to grind in the bevels. For a small hunting knife like this one, I like flat grinds that terminate in a thin edge to make it cut well. I then polish the bevels with successively finer grinder belts until it looks like that. I superglue the handle scales one at a time to the tang, grind them parallel to the blade, and then drill the pinholes on the drill press. Then with both handle scales temporarily affixed to the tang, I grind them roughly to the shape of the handle. Though I'll shape the majority of the handle after final assembly, it's important that the front of the handle scales are all the way finished before I glue it together. So I pin the two scales together and grind the front surfaces even on the grinder and buff them. Now it's time for glue using G-Flex epoxy. All the pins go in and I clamp it together. Once the epoxy is fully cured, I shape the handle on the belt grinder, starting with a 60 grit belt. I take extra care to shape the handle symmetrically so that it looks good and it feels good in the hand. I knock down the quarters with 60 grit belt, roughly round it, and then I go to a slack belt to give it its final shape. These lighter weight flexible belts are 220 grit and 400 grit respectively. Once the handle is shaped to my satisfaction, then I gently chamfer the spine to make it more comfortable in the hand and buff the handle. And here's the finished knife ready to be put to work.